Well, hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Ladies Listen Up. What is your relationship with your money? Well, you know the drill. Go grab your sister girlfriends and say, come on over to Oasis Wellness of Life. We got some good going on over there, right? Don't forget to grab your handy notebooks. And, again, I showed you how to tab the notebooks to make sure that you are creating a reference tool that's going to help you. Alrighty. Again, don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Share this information with somebody else, right? Alrighty, let's get going for today. Let me grab a sip of tea. Oh, that's good. Little mango going on in that one today. I have to try all types of different combinations because you never know what you like until you try it, right? So let's talk a little bit about our money today. But before we get started, let's go on over to Grandma's Cookie Jar Secrets. And for those of you that just joined us today for the first time, go on back. You got some catching up to do to add some notes to your handy notebook about our money. We're getting our money right for the end of 2022 and to jump into 2023 ahead of the game, right? All righty. So we're going to pull out our tip of the day. You can. End of story. Wait, I didn't say that right. That needs to be said with attitude. You can. End of story, right? Positive mind, positive vibes, positive life. I love that because that is absolutely true that you're going to attract what you put out. Energy goes where energy flows. And that's not just a saying or a cliche. It is the truth. Energy flows where energy goes. If you put your energy into something, man, you're going to get positive energy back. And even when it comes down to our money, you see, you can. End of story. Whoa, let's get that down in our spirit, right? So let's talk a little bit about that. Man, so if you put positive energy into your money, meaning that oftentimes, you know what, we go around and we don't even think about it, right? We get our money, whatever income that comes in, and then it goes out. And that's just the circle. That's the hamster wheel. Money come in, money go out, right? True enough, money is supposed to flow, but there are some tips that we can use to make sure that the systematic flow is coming in, right? More is coming in than going out. And then what we have coming in is on a systematic cash flow of generating revenue, right? And we've been talking about this, and we've been implementing systems to help us to do that, right? So excited and happy to report that we are still receiving 2 to 4% every single week, right? Another program, in the Smart Money Circle Club, right? And that's what we do here. We have vetted out different platforms and different programs that are going to help all of us to reach our higher goal. One of the things that I think is so amazing when you're working with a group of like-minded people is that you don't have to do it all alone. Even though we're interdependent, so we're locked together, and our goal is for each one of us to succeed, right? So that's what happens when you have a boat and you're rowing that boat and everybody in the boat rowing the same way. All of the weight is not on you, not on one person, right? So if you have everybody rowing, positive energy going full, that finish line is not as far because you don't have to row it all by yourself. And that's what happens when you're in a group of like-minded people. So let's talk a little bit about today's topic. Today's topic, we're going to talk about wealth transfer. Great topic, right? Wealth transfer, and what does this have to do with cryptocurrency? Well, oftentimes, we're out, and if you really pay attention and your mind is woke, when you're awoke, when you're out and about, think about all of the crypto ATM machines that you're seeing out. All of the companies now that are accepting Bitcoin. I'm gonna tell you about that too in a minute. All of the companies that are accepting cryptocurrency, right? Gas stations, the restaurants, the grocery store. I was in the grocery store the other day, and one of the machines that accept the coin, it said you can now buy Bitcoin here. Man, right. All of the big companies, major players are now all jumping into this pot because guess what? Cryptocurrency, we've been talking about it for some years now, and man, I can kick myself for not being one of the early pioneers to jump on when Bitcoin was a couple of cents, Man, look where we would be today. See, these are the things that I want us to shake loose. I want us to start really, really, really thinking about it. If we had jumped on certain trends back a couple of years ago, think about where we would be today. We'd be set in our finances, right? And once you're set in your finances, it's a shield and a defense, right? They say money can't buy you happiness, right? But it can provide you the shield and defense to be able to have a different experience in your life. Because nobody can tell me or convince me that when you're struggling for making ends meet or struggling to pay your bills, that weighs on your emotional and it weighs on your physical health, right? But if you have the money to do what you need to do, and I'm not saying make that your idol or make that your God, I'm saying that it's a shield and a defense against everything that comes at us because of life. You're going to get things that come at you all the time, right? And it's how you deal with it because life is what? 90%, it's 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you respond to it. Oftentimes we're reacting because we're reacting to putting out fires. So we're constantly putting out fires. At the end of the day, we're exhausted. And then we get back up, again to another fire, right? So getting our money right, getting our finances in order is a deliberate act, right? It's a deliberate action. It's not something that just happens. What happens to us is the fires. We know that it's coming. We know that we're going through a storm, we're in the midst of a storm, or we're coming out of a storm, and then the cycle repeats. Okay, that's life. Now that we know that and we accept that as a fact, so guess what we do now? We figure out a plan to be the best at it, right? And there is a game plan, right? I often talk about Richard Pryor and the Wiz, how they eased on down the yellow brick road to get to, the Wiz, this big old, fantasy that was going to help them to solve their issues. And they get back there to get to the curtain and pull it back. And Richard Pryor is back there. Richard Pryor is back there on the cot, right? He's a great Wiz, right? And actually, the power to do what they needed to do was already on the inside of them, right? So the Tin Man, he already had, what was it he was looking for? It wasn't courage. He was looking for, it wasn't a heart. What was the Tin Man looking for? Somebody help me out. Put it in the description box. I know the lion, he needed a heart because he was cowardly lion, and really had all the courage he needed. He just needed to believe in himself. The what was it with the scarecrow? He needed brains, and he was the smartest one. He was brilliant, right? So courage, brains, and must have been a heart. So the Tin Man needed a heart. Remember, he was sitting there going to see and rusting himself out crying because he said he didn't have a heart, but he had all this emotion, right? So he had a heart, right? So anyhow, and then Dorothy, she was easing on down the yellow brick road on her way. She wanted to go home, and all she had to do was believe, right? Believe in herself. And that's what I'm saying for us today. That's what we must do. We must believe in ourselves. Because anything, what did our tip of the day say? You can, right? End of story, point blank, period. I want to talk about the wealth transfer, right? Because there's a great wealth transfer happening right now. What does it mean? The phrase signifies the gradual shift in demographics and finances in the baby boomer generation, which is born 1946 to 1964, to future generations, including the millennials born 1981 to 1996. And guess what? Man, I slid right into that. I thought I was a baby boomer. Had to do some research and found out that I'm not. So, hey, I'm a part of that great wealth transfer as well. Not on the side of transferring it, but I don't mind being on the side of transferring wealth because that means that you have it and that you can. Lisa Nichols, and I quote her all the time because she talks about giving out of your saucer and not out of your cup. And guess what? If you're giving out of your saucer and not out of your cup, that means it's overflowing and you're living in abundance. That means you can help more people because all you're going to be is more of who you are when you get there, right? So, I just wanted us to really, really start honing in and understanding that the power to get wealth is in us. The power is in our hands. It's just dependent on what you're going to do with it and how you're going to grab this wealth transfer that's happening in the cryptocurrency world. Man, it's happening, whether we're paying attention to it or not. That's on us, right? It's happening right before our eyes. I want to talk to you just a little bit about. Think about it. If you go and you say you have some cryptocurrency on a card or what have you, because it's just like having a credit card. You have a balance on your credit card. Well, you have a balance in your cryptocurrency, right? Everybody thinks like, ooh, it's this big old scary thing. It's not. It's not. It's not. You've been doing it for years. Whenever you pull out a credit card, whenever you pull out a debit card, it's digital currency, right? So yeah, so that's my big rant for today is that come on, get on board, right? Contact us, let us help you with that. Or if not, just make sure that you're educating yourself, that you are understanding that it's happening before us. And the thing of it is not to fear it, but to get educated about it and see how it can work to your benefit, right? So I want to stop one other thing though. That's what I wanted to bring back up. Think about it. All these places that are accepting cryptocurrency, right? They're accepting it for, a lunch or for, groceries or for gas, right? Think about it. Let's think on the other side of that. Why? Because it's of value and it's increasing in value and it's increasing in value. So that $10 lunch, okay, maybe not $10 now, but $15 lunch, that soup, salad, and a sandwich, or whatever it is in a drink or whatever, $20. At $20 today, that lunch is going to really cost you because you didn't hold on to it or you didn't put it into a vehicle that was going to grow. So that sandwich, that $20 lunch cost you probably $250 about, or estimated $250 down the road, right? It's just about us getting a good understanding and understanding the power to gain wealth is within you. All righty, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Share this information with somebody else. Just a fun way for us to understand and learn about our money and about wealth accumulation. Don't forget, listen, learn, and leverage the information. And I'll see you all soon. Stay fearless. Bye for now.